developing controversy surrounding the National Youth Service Corps certificate of the elected governor of Enugu State, the governor-elect, Mr. Peter Mbah. The issue sparked public debate and raised questions about the authenticity of the governor-elect's certificate. It has come to light that there are concerns and allegations regarding the genuineness of the NYSC certificate presented by the governor-elect during his campaign and subsequently for the election. This controversy has attracted significant attention, has become a subject of interest among citizens and political observers. The NYSC scheme in Nigeria is a crucial and compulsory mandatory requirement for Nigerian graduates, as it serves as a means of national integration and provides young people with an opportunity to serve their country. The issuance and verification of NYSC certificates play a vital role in determining the eligibility of candidates for various public offices, including that of the governor of a state. Well, the Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General Wadi Ahmed, has said that the discharge certificate being paraded by Enugu State Governor-elect Mr. Peter Mbah was not issued by the NYSC. Brigadier General Mbah had been quoted to have said, "The argument on whether Mbah has a valid NYSC certificate or not did not arise because he has told the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the 2023 governorship election that what he presented as a certificate was fake." Quote, it came to me, this is where NYSC DG came to me, and I called my director to confirm the certificate, and we discovered the certificate was fake, and I told him, I wonder how elites who have gone to school will resort to black market certificates. Everyone knows how we issue a certificate in NYSC. Don't give it in hotel rooms or houses. End of quote. Meanwhile, the Enugu State Governor-elect Peter Mbah has filed a case against the NYSC demanding 20 billion for injuries he claimed to have been inflicted on his person due to the controversy surrounding his certificate. Let's get some clarification. I have a lawyer that will be discussing these with us in our Lagos studio. Chris Ezemenike is live with us there. Thank you so much, Christian, for joining us tonight. Give us an understanding of how this has become a major controversy about the governor-elect and his eligibility. We know just how important NYSC certificate is. We do know, and we'd like you to talk to us about it, that the governor-elect is said to have asked to complete his NYSC at a later date when he was asking to go for his bar finals at the law school. That is what allow you to become a lawyer who can practice before the Nigerian court. And thereafter, was said to the controversy around that has emerged. What is exactly the real picture of things?
Yeah, thank you, Sean. When the issue of the fake or forgery of the NYSC certificate by the governor-elect of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Mbah, emerged, he laughed at it. He said, how could anybody concoct such a story that he forged the certificate, having served? And he said, just leave it. They will soon stop talking about it. But recently, it's gathering momentum. And as you know, when a lie is repeated over and over and over, people will begin to believe the lies are true and begin to act on it. Now, in early 2002, Dr. Peter Mbah was duly called up for the national service. I have the call-up letter. He was asked to report at the NYSC permanent orientation camp at Ipaja, Lagos, for 7th of January 2002. He duly reported. And after the orientation, he was posted initially to the Nigerian Ports Authority. On getting to Nigerian Ports Authority, he was rejected. It's normal. In most cases, some people will always reject corpus sent to the establishment. He reported back to NYSC, and told them that he's been rejected by the Nigerian Ports Authority. Then he was now posted again. There was he now scouted around for a place of primary assignment and got a law firm in Lagos, Ude and Associates, 25 Ball Street, Lagos. The law firm now wrote a letter to NYSC that if he's posted to the firm, he will be accepted. Based on that, he was posted to the law firm of Ude and Associates. There's a new posting of 6th of March 2022, written by NYSC, posting him to the law firm. He now proceeded there, continued his primary assignment. Then, up to the month of June, the law school, Nigerian Law School, now admitted him for his Bar Part 2. He has actually done a Bar Part 1 earlier before going for the service, because he schooled in England. It's normal for people who school in England outside Nigeria, not just England, to do Bar Part 1, to be acquainted with Nigerian legal system before enrolling for the bar final in the law school. He did that, and then we posted in June, he then applied that he be allowed to proceed to the law school and continue to defer his service and continue after the law school. The NYSC approved the application, allowed him to proceed to the law school, which he did, and on completion, he wrote another application to NYSC for reinstatement. He has completed his law school. And that application was accepted by NYSC, then allowed him to go back and complete his service. They issued him a new letter of posting for primary assignment to the same law firm where he has been. He now proceeded to the law firm where he was and continued his primary assignment. And he has sequence of letters of clearance every month. It is normal that you must produce your letter of clearance from the place of primary assignment, which is submitted to NYSC at the end of every month. He continued and produced all those things to them. He has the copies of...
What year was this?
Yeah, he started in 2002.
What year was this asking to conclude it?
He finished service in 2003. He commenced early 2002, should have finished by January 2003. The initial letter posting to MPA has even the date, the expected date of completion of the service, which states that is 7th of January 2003. But because he deferred his service to attend the law school, he couldn't continue, he couldn't finish by January as should have been, but now finished at September 2003. So when he finished in 2003, he was duly discharged by NYSC and he was issued his certificate. Now, Shehu, one of the things you need to know about this is in the certificate issued to Dr. Peter Mbah has a number, which is the controversy raging all over the place. The number is A, that's alphabet A, 808297. Now, in the series of NYSC certificates, there are I'll omit A when I'm mentioning because A maybe means batch A of the year. Now, there is 808, 291, 292, 293, 294, 295, 296. There is 298, 299, 230, and beyond. So now, Dr. Peter Mbah's own is 297. So if there are these serial numbers in NYSC certificate issuance, basically the one issued to Peter Mbah of 297 fell within that category. And then if NYSC is saying they did not issue this very certificate to Dr. Peter Mbah, it is the onus is on them to produce who owns certificate A 808297. If they can't produce it, then how would they be denying they issue this to Dr. Peter Mbah? No, but
so
what I mean...
Just for a moment, Mr. Ekemezie. Now, let's look at it. Now, if I am the issuing agency or establishment, and I say, look, the certificate that you have is not genuine, what do you do as a lawyer? Because I understand now that the case is in court. On what basis did Mr. Peter Mbah gone to court? I mean, because he said that he's suing for 20 billion naira. But the NYSC said this certificate that you have is not genuine.
Yes, yeah, he's gone to court because, you know, the deeds, the acts of NYSC are defamatory of him, of his person. They are destroying his image, the image he created and built over the years. For NYSC to say they did not issue him the certificate, he has now approached the court for a declaration that NYSC is being economical with the truth regarding his certificate. What we believe on this side is that somebody, there's a conspiracy somewhere. The lady, Mary Nelma Elijah, who initially wrote to NYSC, has nothing to do with politics in Enugu State. She singled out Dr. Peter Mbah to write that letter to NYSC under the Freedom of Information Act, requesting to confirm if that certificate was genuine. We believe that somebody, somewhere, did something wrong in NYSC, pulled out Peter Mbah's certificate, filed from NYSC, before asked the lady to write in. The lady has no business with Enugu politics. She's not interested. If, as a lawyer, I apply for a document from anybody, from any authority, I'm applying for that document because I want to use it, either for myself or for a client I represent. After she got the letter from NYSC, the response from NYSC, nothing was done by her anymore. It means it's a hatchet job. Somebody, somewhere, pulled out the entire document, the entire file of Dr. Peter Mbah and NYSC, and then asked her to write. She now wrote, the predetermined response came in, and that is what they brought out. Unfortunately for them, Sheung, they didn't know that Peter Mbah, we talk of we being meticulous, but Dr. Peter Mbah is the definition of meticulous. He has kept everything, every document that passed through him. He kept all of them, including the meal ticket. The meal ticket issued to him at the NYSC camp in Ipaja. Most of us, everybody, when you're leaving the camp, you throw away your meal ticket. But Dr. Peter Mbah kept even his own, not because of today, not because of this day, no, but because he is meticulous.
Your challenge, just a moment, you're raising a question mark on the reason why the woman who activated the Freedom of Information process on Mr. Mbah, and you're querying it. I mean, I need you to understand also that as soon as anybody puts themselves and himself up for a public office, the person is now going to be under the public's scrutiny. So it doesn't matter whether there is interest or not. It's the fact that as soon as you are in the public line, there's going to be scrutiny and people will ask questions for the sake of transparency. And that's in fact the reason why we're having this conversation with you tonight, that the person who wants to lead Enugu State, and there are question marks as to his records and the affidavit that he has sworn to become in the records that he has submitted to INEC, should be genuine and should be authentic. And does the onus not come on him to be able to present himself and verify and authenticate the document that he said he has?
Yeah, yes, Sheung, yeah, I agree with you that anybody is a public institution, public document, anybody can apply and get it. But my point what I was trying to make was that you apply it for a purpose because you want to use it for one thing or the other. The lady who did apply from Omas and Partners, on getting it, she didn't use it for any other purpose other than the opposition in Enugu, who knew that they were going to lose the election to Dr. Peter Mbah, is holding that as the point to use to disqualify him from the election. Because if you're privileged to look at the petition they filed at the governorship election tribunal in Enugu, 80% of the petition is based on the certificate, the NYSC certificate said to have been forgery. But if a man had gone through all the rudiments of enrolled at the camp, passed through the camp, did the primary assignment, deferred it, and returned and completed his primary assignment of NYSC, why would he now go begin to forge a certificate to that effect? A certificate doesn't need to pay for. It's not an exam certificate. Just for you to be present and do the primary assignment, then you get it. When he completed, he was given to it. One thing I need to let you know is that if you look at that certificate, it is dated 7th of January, 2023. The reason is that immediately people enroll in NYSC, finish your orientation, and leave the camp, NYSC will begin to write all the certificates for the probable date of discharge. And the first letter of posting of Dr. Peter Mbah stated that he will be discharged about 7th of January 2023. So those certificates been written earlier, but he did not leave, pass out with his colleague, his set, during that period, because he was already in law school. So when he now finished, of course, he's finished and then he had to discharge him. They issued him his certificate, which already has a date of January 2023. So he couldn't have. If you go through there are those documents coming from NYSC, his posting, reposting, and the rest of them. These are officers of NYSC at the material time in question. NYSC is not denying those documents. So if they have posted him to Lagos, he served, posted him to a place of primary assignment, he served there, applied for deferment of his service so that he can attend the law school. And he was allowed to go to law school. He finished, returned to NYSC, reposted again to the same place he was serving, and then continued and finished. So why would NYSC now deny the certificate issued at the end of the day? If Dr. Peter Mbah has infractioned the rules of NYSC, there is a punishment for it. Especially, they give an extension, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and the rest of them. They didn't say he infractioned, he ran away, he absconded from the service. No. They're only saying that the certificate he produced is fake. And we are saying, since the certificate is A808297, produce the person that certificate was issued to. Because in the serial number you have, there are other numbers before him, then after him. So if his own is now a fake one, produce the real owner of 808297. They can produce such. There is nothing like that. So it is the one they issued to Dr. Peter Mbah is the genuine certificate. Somebody has done some mischief somewhere by pulling out those things from NYSC. And then immediately it's pulled out, they now said he forged it. If he doesn't have any of these documents, he has not kept these documents, it will have been, yes, the people will believe that he forged them. But these are documents from NYSC, documented. If he has gone through the rudiments and finished everything, why would he go and forge a certificate? No, Sheung, it's not done. It is if he had not...
The lady you mentioned, Mr. Ekemeze, the lady you mentioned is not the only person that is raising question here. And I'm a bit careful in digging too much into, because there are a lot of issues on that certificate that you are talking about. I'm a bit careful to dig into this matter because they are before the court. And I don't want to touch on the matter so that we are not committing any infraction by discussing the case that is before the court. But for the sake of transparency, and that's why we have engaged in this conversation, at least for Mr. Peter Mbah to be able to present his case before the Nigerian people. What is your next step, your next line of action? You've gone to court on one hand, but this issue is now on one hand a legal matter, and on the other hand a moral issue, because the person that wants to lead the people of Enugu must show cause why they need to believe him that is not forged a document which not only one person but two people, one has gone to the election tribunal to challenge on the grounds in which he was nominated as the governor of Enugu State. So give us, as a final word, your next line of action to the people of Enugu State on a moral ground.
Now, like I said earlier, initially Dr. Peter Mbah felt that this matter, which are lies concocted, will just die away. But now that the DG of the other body, the NYSC, has come up to disclaim the same certificate. And again, he went on the same day to disclaim that he's not even aware. There are two things there. First, he said the matter is in court and he wasn't going to comment on it. But he went ahead to comment on it, like what you said earlier. He said he told him, and he maintained that that certificate is forgery, because he asked his director of certification, who told him that it's forgery, and he believed him. So that day, he also said the matter in court, he heard about it in the pages of newspapers, that he's not aware it does exist. But it's not true. He's not telling the truth to the world. As at Monday...
Mr. Ekemeze, if, for example, just for a moment, if the university where you graduated from is saying that the certificate that you have in your hand is a fake certificate, what would you do, for example?
Now, in the first place, you know, the DG said so. Dr. Peter Mbah has approached him...
No, I'm asking you,
yes,
just for a moment, if I'm asking you now, if the university where you graduated from, where you read law, says the certificate that you have in your hands are not is not genuine, what would you do?
Yeah, there are things to be done, Ncheon. First is that you can approach the university to clarify it, to ensure them know that you graduated and was issued that certificate, which was what Dr. Peter Mbah did initially.
Has Mr. Peter Mbah done that in his case?
Yes, he did that.
Okay.
The DG said he came to him to report about the allegation that he forged the certificate. Because if he had forged it, he could have gone to the DG to meet him to show him. And then secondly, if the university attended, like you asked the question, is recalcitrant, refusing to listen to reason that I didn't forge it, of course, that's why the court system is there. And that's what Dr. Peter Mbah has done. He has gone to the court, a third party, to now look into the matter and declare whether he forged that certificate or not. It was in good faith he approached the court.
Okay. Mr. Chris Ekemeze, a lawyer, thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. Indeed, giving Mr. Peter Mbah an opportunity to air his own side in this matter. Thank you so much indeed for your time.
Thank you so much.